just won't do it. Similar to like how people get gym memberships and then stop after the first month because they're like, oh, well, whatever. I don't want to keep doing the same old routine kind of thing.
Hello.
You doing?
I'm watching my my first video.
Wearing the same shirt.
I am wearing the exact same shirt. And I have a lot more hair than I do in this video, but
Sticking up just a little, but
it's funny, like I'm watching it and I was reading some of the like more of the silly comments about like how I edited the video, and yeah, I am getting a little bit dizzy with the spinning. I don't know, I was just kind of reminiscing on it, see if I actually held true to it and if I'm in the same mindset that he was in.
well, you're in a different mindset because that guy was really kind of upset with himself or disappointed in himself for not being the person who says, oh, you know, I always wanted to do that, and then actually making it happen.
I wouldn't say that it was like a disappointment kind of thing. I would say that it's more of I was missing something. That I kind of just like, why aren't I doing these things? Why aren't I going out and like trying to experience something kind of thing? Why am I just sticking to sitting on the couch and playing on my phone and having the TV on at the same time instead of just doing something? Like I think a lot of times before I'm gonna say he for old younger me.
Short-haired you.
Yeah, I think what he was thinking was he would watch these different shows or movies, and he'd see like there's an adventure in that, in like what he's watching, and it is me, and he could get lost in like he's watching a Star Trek episode and be like, wow, look at what they're experiencing today, or then jump to like another channel and be like, look, he's watching Hell's Kitchen here, he's watching chefs put something together. I could never do something like that, or I'll never experience something like that. And I think he was getting sick of thinking, you know what, I actually can do those things if you just get off your ass and do it. I think he just kind of like snapped and said like, okay, you know what, I gotta do this, because if I don't, then I'm gonna regret this. I'm like if I was on my deathbed and was thinking like, why didn't you do that, I would be disappointed with myself. So I think there was just like something missing that I needed to experience.
So then you shouldn't be feeling the same as short-haired Greg. You should be feeling accomplished. You should be feeling like you did go challenge yourself to do things, and it wasn't an obligation every week. It was like an excitement of, what do we get to try now?
Yeah.
What do we get to do now?
So why are you recording this?
I don't know, because I felt like it's symbolic, sort of your...
Because I've been pointing the camera at people.
Yeah.
So you should point the camera at me.
I mean, it's kind of funny that, you know, you're kind of reminiscing about the end of your experience while watching the very beginning of your experience. So
in the exact same shirt.
In the exact same shirt. Maybe we should turn this into something. Like, what if we did an interview and you could talk about, like, actually get to break down all the pieces of what you experienced, what you were excited to do, what you probably wouldn't try again.
Like an Ask Me Anything that you see on Reddit.
Sure.
You know, I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my last video. I felt like it was a lot of pressure to be like, it's got to be something big for the 18 people who are watching my videos. But I was thinking, like, I should I do something like really big? But then I feel like it's kind of forced, and it's kind of defeating what the what he was thinking, that it's his thing, and thinking what he wants to do instead of having the expectation of, you got to do this kind of thing.
And you haven't really gotten the opportunity to kind of collect the whole year and digest it as a project.
Yeah, I think in previous years, like when I haven't even done like these kinds of videos, there's only just like one thing that I reminisce, and it would be something that happened in either October, November, or December. But with this, I'm able to go week by week and see exactly what I was doing each week. And I think that is kind of like a good way to... I think this would be a good conclusion to this year, to like round off the entire year and kind of talk about what happened, or what I was thinking, why I did certain things, how I've changed, how my video editing has gotten better, doing things that I wouldn't do or be too scared to do or just be too lazy to do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
It's a good idea, Nikki.
Oh, thanks.
And you've been kind of like a part of this entire video project this year, so I think you should be at least a small part of the last video, even if you're like recording it. Like, yeah, you
I
should
can
be
be an
a part of it.
I could be an interviewer.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's do it.
How's my hair?
Fluffy.
Makeup!
You ready for
Yeah, I'm
your
ready.
interview? All right. Do you want your face in the background like that? I don't mind it, but
How about I just go to my homepage?
okay. We can pull up clips and stuff if we, want to reference
I don't know why
things.
I chose these mountains. For the banner, I had like this idea of having like a little, if you guys know what a chibi is, look up what a chibi is. I wanted a chibi of me. It's almost
kind of like these guys.
It's almost like a pop. I want a chibi of me being like, with a backpack on going like, yeah, I'm going to go out. And then behind him is like 52 things that are going to kind of embody what he was going to do that year. I don't really. Actually, I do have artist friends that maybe would have done it, but then I would have to pay them. So if anyone's an artist that wants to chibi me,
with
please
little symbolic things of what you experience
yeah.
in the background, that'd be awesome.
I can make the banner.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Okay, so while we're talking about the YouTube channel, from what I remember, you didn't have an idea from the beginning to call it Let's Go. Where did that come from?
The very first name that I came up with was called Project 52.
Right.
I thought that was kind of, I don't know, I thought that was like a clever way to, like, this is a project and I'm doing 52 weeks of it. But I saw that other people have had that same name and it wasn't as clever. Like, maybe it was clever originally. Not that Let's Go is even that unique, but I feel like I feel like saying Let's Go kind of implies that everyone can like join me in this kind of experience. I kind of just settled on it and I was just in bed and thinking about what I wanted to name it and I just stuck with it.
I think to start off, I want to challenge you to... You don't have to do it in order, although you're going to get total bonus points if you can do it in order. I'm going to challenge you to remember all 51 things that you did this year.
51? Okay. Well, I have the screen up.
So you'll have a
of
couple
my
of cheats.
most recent ones
Okay.
and the first one. So,
There's just a few cheats.
okay. The first one was making the resolution and telling or listing 52 people that I felt I admired or had something that I admired about them that I felt like I didn't have. Second one was going to the Nautilus Museum. Third was doing yoga. Fourth was, oh God, forgot.
It's tough because you
It
did
is
do a
tough,
lot of
yeah.
things. And
I'm just gonna list what I've done. Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood. I made a beef Wellington. Went skiing in Powder Ridge. That was probably the one that I
that
missed.
was number 4.
Powder Ridge. Tried new foods that I haven't tried. God, those pork rinds were terrible.
I am checking these in the background, by the way.
Yeah. I made origami. Getting near my birthday, I think I went to New York City with Noelle, and I tried that sushi burrito and Korean barbecue. I probably skipped a lot. Did science experiments I could do from home. I went to see Chami live at PlayStation Theater. I went curling. I went to a hockey game with your father.
You did?
I went to a shooting range with my dad and my sister. Oh God, now I'm just skipping to like trying or getting a free Slurpee on Slurpee Day at 7-Eleven. That's Jesus, that's the 7th month. God, this is a lot harder than I thought. Chopped down a Christmas tree, made gingerbread, NASCAR, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, getting hypnotized.
The things that you missed early on.
Flying kite. That was later, actually.
That was summer, yeah. One of them starred me.
Starred you? Oh, doing the makeup. That was early on?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was week 10.
See, like, all the videos kind of blend together. Sometimes, like, I was going through some of the uploads now. I'm going to, like, cheat a little bit. But I, for some reason, when I think of Jake's 58, I felt like when we went to Jake's 58, like, that was months and months ago. I felt like that was one of the first videos, but it was actually a pretty recent video. For some reason, getting a mani-pedi felt like we just did that. Maybe because it was traumatic. I don't know. It's just weird how, like, things will blend together and other things won't. Like rock climbing, I completely forgot about that video. I think that's because like I've already gone rock climbing before. I guess like the rock climbing one and doing it before was kind of not really the main premise of the video, the video project. But I think what I was trying to get at with this was, I could choose not to do this, or I could just do it and have like another experience I could do with my sister. Actually, when I think of that rock climbing video, I think back because it's the day that we went to, what was that restaurant with your grandfather?
Yeah, we went to my grandpa's 90th birthday
went
party.
to your grandfather's 90th birthday.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
that's another thing that I experienced. And I just went rock climbing like hours before that. So I probably arrived like all sweaty and stuff. But
no, you changed.
Yeah, I did change. We went to that restaurant and then
straight from there, yeah.
And then you and your sister and your father had to leave early to go to a dance
Brianna's dance rehearsal, yeah.
And I drove with your brother. Like it's just weird that when you see like these like do like a little experience and then things just compound on that.
Yeah.
Like so many the rock climbing one, I don't even think about it. But then when I do think about it, like all these memories flood of like there was a lot more to that day than just rock climbing. The Mill Ridge Inn.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
My grandfather talks about that place all the time, and like we went there for your grandfather's 90th birthday. I think any day and any video, I think I can clearly tell you exactly what we were doing for that entire day.
Yeah.
And not just
what was filmed.
Not just what was filmed, but
right.
what was going on that day.
I'll give you points for remembering a good chunk of them. We didn't get through to the summer or anything, but now you've seen the list. But
yeah, if I actually really thought about it, like I could remember, oh yeah, we did this and this, but I think like being on camera, I don't want this to make like an hour long.
So there were obviously a lot of standout moments, and I kind of want to make a point from my point of view to say that just because we didn't remember doing them doesn't mean we didn't thoroughly enjoy them. There are some that just stick out better than others.
Oh, yeah.
Which ones kind of stand out more to you, and for what reason?
I think the curling one stands out a lot to me because flushing a toilet, because that's something that I've always wanted to try to do, and it's so like unique.
Yeah, it's so out of the ordinary.
It's such a different thing than you would see. Like I think when we were at the Nutmeg curling place, they were telling us that instead of going bowling in other countries, people would go curling in some of these Nordic countries like Norway and Sweden, and they would do that. Like, I would love to do that in this country. I prefer to go curling over bowling.
Yeah, imagine if it was so commonplace to just like call up your friends and be like, "Hey, you want to go curling tomorrow?"
Go curl. Get like, your broom. So that stands out in like a positive way, and plus it's my only way to get into Olympics if I ever go. I think a lot of times even the ones that were kind of like dud videos stand out. Like the Mystic Chowder Fest, like I remember that being just such a huge disappointment. I used to live in Saratoga Springs, and there was a chowder festival that they would do every year there. And it was huge, and it was so cool, and it was so well done. But this one was just like, it was just such a downer to do it. And it's like, when I think back on this year, I think of that video for some reason. I think that's something that happens to everyone, that there's just so many things that I did this year that I really liked and appreciate that I've done and had the opportunity to do. But the negative things are so easy to remember over the positive things. And I think a lot of people get trapped in that every year, and they think like, oh God, this year is ending. And like, I just feel like it was just such a crappy year. And in my first video, I was listening to the words that I was saying there, that like, everyone's just been so unhappy, and the election was going on that year.
And there was a lot of fighting, and I think what you were thinking at the time was there was so much, like,
there can't be so many, like, there can't be just so much negativity that happens in a year. There's got to be so much more positive things that we're just forgetting because the negative things, it's in our nature to point out the negative things that happen.
For some people, the arguments about politics and things like broke friendships and stuff.
It really
it got
did.
Ugly.
I can only imagine like how much, and people are still talking about it. It's still like such a negative thing that people talk about here.
I think that's where we were at the end, when the end of last year when you were thinking about this project. You're like, there's just so much negativity and everyone's so upset and miserable.
Like, I would encourage people maybe not to do this if it's not your thing. It's just something that came to me. I think it first came to me when I was doing the Chami video. When I was at PlayStation Theater with Noel and all of his friends, and we were watching he did really good music. I really like Chami as an artist. I feel like I was just behind a screen the entire time and I wasn't actually there. I was thinking more about like, I gotta make this look good for the people who are gonna watch it instead of enjoying it for what it actually is. And I think a lot of times if like I was just doing this on like Snapchat, or if I was just posting it onto Facebook to show people, hey, look at what I'm doing, I feel like I'd forget about it. Probably a lot of people that are watching this, you would have to look at the picture or the video to remember what you did this year, instead of actually being there and actually experiencing it. I think having the GoPro camera like on my head and recording things made me like forget about the camera, forget about what I'm trying to get, and just experience it. Like for some reason the St. Patrick's Day parade in Mystic, it just like I had the camera on, and for some reason I just remember the girl standing right next to us saying, "Oh look, he has the GoPro camera. He's recording it." Like I'm experiencing this and I can remember it, and I'm not just thinking about hitting record on my phone and doing a Snapchat and like
getting a good shot.
Being like, I gotta send it to this people, do this filter, have this kind of text. I'm losing the experience. Even if it's just like a minute, I just lost something. And I feel like that's why people are able to just forget about it. Because bad things that happen in a year, you are living that. You are experiencing that. You will not forget that.
They also tend to weigh heavier on you.
I think future me will be able to look back on this and be like, you know what? Maybe that year wasn't so bad. Maybe 2030 wasn't that bad. Maybe there was a lot more to that year that you're missing because you can't actually see it. And maybe just taking a picture and posting it on Facebook, or just taking a video and posting it on Snapchat, is not really gonna make you remember it. That was kind of a deep moment, but I think there's so much more that happens in people's lives that they're forgetting about because they just can't remember it.
So kind of on that topic of like, you can watch one of these videos and remember a whole experience, and maybe it helps you kind of remember the positives a little better. There were a lot of these weekends, especially the ones that I did with you, where we did a lot of other stuff as well. So for instance, we actually filmed a whole mini golfing event.
We did,
with Michael and Tommy, which was hilarious. We didn't end up using it, I think half because the footage was in the dark.
The lighting was very bad, and I mean, like, I've gone miniature golfing before.
That's one of the things that stands out to me still, because it wasn't like for the purpose of doing a video. It was just like, we're gonna have a really good time, let's get it on film.
At the very end, there's this hole where you can putt, and if you get it like right into the tunnel, you win a free game, and this inflatable clown will go up and go do 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 do, and like fire comes out of this dragon's nose. Me and Tommy actually did that, and we won. And here's a clip of that.
Oh!
Yay!
Oh my God!
And the fire went off.
And the clown came up.
Yay!
Came up. It's a drunk clown. It's okay. It's a drunk clown. He was at our wedding last night. Just like all the other clowns. They're drunk. Oh my God!
Yay!
It's so sad.
It's just ridiculous seeing that like clown. That's just it was pathetic. But they get to go back because they have 2 free games, so they're gonna go do that.
The funny thing about that too is like we're telling kind of a little casual, we went mini golfing with Michael and Tommy. That was the day after their wedding.
That was their honeymoon.
That was with us. That was the first day Michael's name changed, and we were like joking about the O'Briens winning and everything else. But again, to just circle it back, we've been mini golfing a million times, but to experience it with them and like the significance of the day after their wedding, that was the experience, not the fact that you'd never been mini golfing before. You know? In the videos there were a few that I was in that as we were filming them, I was thinking to myself, there's not going to be anything worth watching here.
Like a dud.
Yeah, it's going to be a little dud. Maybe look at your list there. Pick out a few that you thought, I'm a little worried that this might come out as a dud. And then talk about actually why it ended up being worth the video.
For some reason, water polo is sticking out to me. Like, when I was thinking about this, I was like, like, this could be kind of boring. Because you're just going to, like, watch me play water polo, and I'm only going to show like the clips where I'm actually doing good. But when I think about that, I don't think about water polo. I think about getting Taco Bell and Max coming there.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time that Max stayed at this apartment.
I think so, yeah. You were saying something like winners get Taco Bell.
Going to the Big Duck and Grumman.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was it's quirky, but I'm only going to get like clips of like the trip to the Big Duck would have to be the entertainment, because once we're there, we're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to play some stupid music and we're going to be at a duck. But then we went to the Grumman airfield, and I'm sorry, Brianna, but your fake laugh is so ear-piercing when I was editing that video. Like, for some reason, when I think of this video, there was a part where I said just like a very unfunny joke, and Brianna did this like fake laugh that was so ear-piercing. I don't know why I think about that.
Although this video could have been a little more dud also because there wasn't a whole lot going on, what I do remember is Brianna taking over the whole video.
I think the thing that I've learned a lot from editing these videos, especially if one is like a dud, music really fixes it. Like, just like having music play and then suddenly stopping makes everything better. And I think the only other video was I'm thinking about Martha's Vineyard. I thought that I thought there was going to be like a lot more there. Like, this, it's a huge tourist destination for rich people. I don't know what I was expecting going there. I think looking at the footage that I had got when I was there, I was like, oh god, this is going to be pretty boring. There's not really much there. I think when people saw my dad flying his plane, I think that was a lot more interesting. The thing that I remember most about Martha's Vineyard was not the video, but Michael Smith's reaction to the video. Like, because he was the first one to comment on Facebook to that video and be like, oh, he's gonna learn about deaf culture, and then like 7 minutes later it says, oh, never mind. But now I know that Martha's Vineyard like has a huge deaf community that's there. I feel like if I hadn't have gone to Martha's Vineyard, I wouldn't know that today.
Right.
There is like a very prevalent deaf community there. There's some that are like pretty boring, I guess, like watching me run a half marathon for 2 hours that my aunt did for some reason. Decided to watch the entire thing instead of like in the description I wrote, you can look in the description and you can see each mile marker, so you don't have to watch the entire video. But she decided to watch the entire 2 hours. This may be a little bit going off topic, but I've always wanted to do a video like that, running a half marathon, because this shaky video is of the 2016 marathon.
It's the Disney.
It's the Disney marathon. And right there is me. And there's my mom, and there's my dad. That's me. It just is. I don't know what it is, but it's just like in some microscopic way, I was part of this guy's experience. I was another person cheering that guy on for that guy's Disney marathon, and I think like, oh yeah, I was there. I could see him. It's like the same thing as like when I'm just like that little speck in a baseball game and be like, oh my god, I'm there. I'm famous. Like, I don't know. It's I don't know what I'm getting at. It's just like that little magic, I guess, that is just a cool thing to see. The feeling that I got when I was editing my video for the half marathon that I did in Fredericksburg, seeing my cousin's children like on the side of the camera, like give me a high five as I'm going into the finish line. I would think that like they're looking back on that video one day and be like, that's me. I was part of Gregg's experience. It sounds stupid, but like to me, it's like this person right now who's running, like he has just like such a small connection with all these people, but there's just like so many connections with so many people that you have. It's like the same feeling you get when you're driving your car, you pull up at like a street light, you look to your left, you're like, oh, friend from high school who's driving next to me that's like stopped at the same light. Oh my god, hey, what's going on? It's like it's that kind of feeling that I feel like, I don't know, it's just a cool experience. It's cool. It's a cool feeling to have. This guy was just recording his marathon and you caught me in that. And now I'm seeing what you did again. I don't know.
And then you get to relive that moment too. Like I know exactly why I was standing in that spot at that time and why you were with your parents and not with us.
We were only there for 10 minutes. I remember your brother was in Toy Story Land.
We thought they were going to Star Wars. Yeah, I remember that too because they said they were going to Star Wars and Andrea and I didn't want to go to Star Wars, so we didn't go with them. Come to find out they got photos with Woody and Buzz. And I was so upset. I was like, you didn't tell me you were going to Toy Story Land? I wanted to go.
And we were only there for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. So out of the thousands of people, I think that's the only video that I saw of that marathon. And like
you happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Seconds.
Yeah.
Because I was there for those 10, 15 minutes. And he came by. So.
Yep. So let's go with now some classic questions that I'm sure your audience wants to know. What was your favorite experience, most fun / would definitely do again?
Definitely curling. It's definitely something I've wanted to do. I actually really enjoy going to the hockey game with your father. The atmosphere of like a hockey game was a lot of fun, especially being right on the glass. I loved playing volleyball over the summer. It was just something to look forward to every week. And the drive to Cedar Beach, it's like a hike from my house. I think that if I weren't in this mindset of like doing these videos, I'm hesitant to say that I would have done it and kept with it because it was something I really enjoyed, but like that drive, sometimes for a moment I would think, my god, do I really want to drive for 45 minutes in traffic during rush hour to get to Cedar Beach?
It always seemed worth it.
It was always worth it.
I went a few times too, and that was 20 minutes longer of a drive for you having to come get me first. I would have thought that one of your like biggest moments from the year would have been seeing Darren Brown.
Seeing him was really cool. I think the problem is I'm very into like figuring out how things happen, that when we were there I knew exactly how he was doing it. Even if like I know that I couldn't do it, I know how he was doing it. So it kind of spoiled it a little bit for me, but I think seeing the awe in people's eyes, that's a cool
that was another
thing.
One too where maybe the video wasn't that interesting because we couldn't actually film the show.
Well, it's the same thing even with the Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood
right
thing. Like that show was great, but I couldn't film it.
It's a 3-minute video of us going to Starbucks. You mentioned Colin Mockery, Darren Brown, seeing the hockey game. Those might be more so you had to be there kind of experiences than people can enjoy it with you through video. But what was your favorite video?
I think what I'm actually most proud of is Michael and Tommy's wedding video. That came out really well. And for some reason, I just love the part where the song is saying, my mama told me that there'd be days like this.
Yeah,
it
Tommy
jumps
and his
to
mom.
the clip where they're dancing with their mothers for the first time. It was just so well done.
Video.
And I feel like it was an important thing to do. I felt like that was an important video to do, and they'll have something to reminisce on.
Just things that were like so significant to
like these small moments are making up this really big day for them.
That's probably why that's my favorite video.
Yeah, so you have all 185 views of it.
That might all be me. So now on the opposite spectrum, what was the thing that you look back on and go, I never have to do that again?
Trying pork rinds.
But in that example, I think you would try new foods again.
I would definitely try new foods.
You just wouldn't eat the other foods that were yuck.
You know, it's hard because Like the Mystic Chowder Fest, like I did not like the Chowder Festival. I wouldn't go back to the Chowder Festival, but I'd definitely go back to that museum.
Yeah.
I think going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it was cool to see, but I wouldn't go back unless like I was invited to some guy's apartment or hotel or whatever to see it. Like I was very far back, and when you're walking along the streets and you're seeing people that are like being tourists like you are, and they're just like, oh my god, you can't get anywhere, and they're not going to see anything, this is terrible. But when you're watching on TV, like, oh, everyone's so happy, like Snoopy's going by, you see like the thousands of people that are seeing it up close being all happy, but you're missing the millions of people who are miserable because they can't get anywhere close. I don't think I would need to do that again. I honestly think NASCAR was like my biggest surprise thing. Thinking, oh man, I'm gonna love this, and like, oh god, I didn't like that.
All right, so then my next question is, what didn't you get to do?
What I would have wanted to do in Salem was to get a psychic reading. I'm very skeptical of that stuff, and I think just like experiencing it would, I don't know, maybe it would change my mind, but
it wouldn't even be a matter of needing to change your mind. I guess it would be more.
I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking to people, I feel like a lot of people just know things or experience things that I never have. And now maybe someone will bring up that they went to a shooting range and they were into guns. Now I can talk to them and be like, oh yeah, I went to a shooting range too. I shot a shotgun and a .22 caliber rifle. Like, that's cool. And I could talk to people about that. It adds more. I feel like I was missing a lot of that with my life experiences. My god, that guy needs to stop hammering. Something I really wanted to do, my neighbor Betty made a comment and she said, if you ever want to go in a hot air balloon with me, I want to do it. I would have loved to do that with her. That would be so cool to do. But it's like $500 for 30 minutes to go in a hot air balloon. It's like, my god, why? So hot air ballooning was something I definitely wanted to try eventually, but maybe when I'm wealthy. I also want to do skydiving. I did indoor skydiving, but I definitely want to try like actual skydiving.
So as another just kind of fun little tidbit, we actually, and you specifically, have been collecting things.
I think start right here.
Yeah,
actually.
right behind you on my desk is all of the good origami.
It's the blue hen.
That's not the blue hen. That's my penguin.
It's a penguin.
Yeah.
No, it's a blue.
No, we threw away your blue hen. It was stupid.
Stupid Delaware. On this desk, we have this Uber coupon and this Fred Astaire coupon. And we got these at the Mystic St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yeah, they
were
gave
just
them
handing them out to us.
as freebies.
I think it was right after Irish Jesus went by. The hockey puck.
Your little squishy hockey puck.
The Sound Tigers hockey puck. This is from the Markham Workplace 3.5, as my aunt would call it, marathon. Even though it's only 3.5 miles. Did this with my cousin Keith, his wife Lisa, and their son Brennan.
Yep.
And Brennan kicked Keith's ass.
That's right.
So
He kicked some booty.
here's the SpongeBob from Providence. My hat from the Sound Tigers. These flip-flops are from the Mani Pedi. This is the paper that they gave me when I was auditioning for Survivor. These are the tickets to the Mystic Aquarium. I didn't get a video of the solar eclipse that happened this year.
Oh, yeah.
But I kept the solar eclipse glasses.
Yep.
Actually, this is a coworker's of mine. I stole it. This is a pin that Nutmeg Curling gave us when we went curling.
These things are from Michael and Tommy's wedding.
And we also have these Pez. Your parents and your sister went to the Pez factory during the same week that we went to get a mani-pedi, I think, with,
With
Michael. And we came back to Long Island. We came home to Squeaky, who was like not doing good. We had to take her to the vet. We unfortunately had to put her down that night.
Yeah.
So that was a first for me. I've never seen like an animal be put down before. Like I've had a couple of dogs in my life, but I wasn't around to put them down. Squeaky we put down, and it was rough. Like I'm not a cat person. Like I liked Squeaky because she had like an attitude. It was rough. I also had to put down Traveler this year.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had to like put down one of my dogs. It was rough. Yeah, death actually came in threes for me this year. I had Squeaky pass away, I had Traveler pass away, and my neighbor who lives up the street from my house, he passed away this year. So I guess death does come in threes. There was also a lot of like sad things that happened this year, but I think it's important to note that there's also like good things.
So now that we're officially at the end, week 52, I know there are a lot of people, mostly my family and yours, they're really upset that this is ending because they really enjoyed it. It was something not only for you to look forward to every week, but for them to look forward to every week. I know people have asked you if you'll do it again next year or if I'll do it next year or something like that, but like, what do you feel about going into 2018?
I think you should definitely do it.
Like, I would love to, but
it is a lot of editing.
It's a lot of editing, which wouldn't even bother me that much because I feel like you'd want to do my editing anyway. And that's just as a side note. You learned that you're really good at editing and that you really like it.
I think I've gotten better at it. I don't like to say if I'm like really good at it. You have a lot of friends that are that work as professional editors, so I'd have to ask them if I'm any good. But I think I've definitely gotten better. I've definitely learned don't spin around.
Yeah.
So to put it in context, like for the most recent video, the Christmas tree, we got about like 2 hours of footage. To chop it down to 14 minutes, like it takes maybe about 3-4 hours. It eats up a lot of time. I did really enjoy doing it. I definitely don't think I'll ever stop making videos, but I think holding myself to the week-to-week constraint, it forced me to like do a video, which kind of would like I think diminish the quality of it.
I don't think the quality suffered.
Well, not the quality, but like
I understand
it felt forced almost.
Yeah.
Like
well,
I gotta get something good. I gotta make it good. I might have already mentioned this, but like the first time I noticed it was during the Chami video. I was thinking more about like I was behind a camera the entire time, and I felt like afterwards, you know what? I didn't really even see the show if I was looking through it with a camera. And I was looking around, like, I'm gonna get deep again. I was looking around the room, and like the first thing that people do is they grab their phone, and they start recording, and then when they're done recording for those 10 seconds, they put it down. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm at Chami Live. Send to this person, this person, this person. Send. Okay, back in the pocket. All right, then do it again." Like, are you really like being part of the moment, or are you just trying to show people what they're missing? And a lot of times I feel like when I'm recording these things, I'm thinking more about like you guys seeing a good video instead of me actually really enjoying it. So I think what I'm gonna do, or what I would like to do, is re-experience a lot of these other things but not record it, and just try and really be in the moment of it. I don't know. So with that said, I'm not going to do a week-to-week video series for next year. I'll definitely videotape new things that I'm going to do, because I do have a good GoPro camera, so that would be kind of a waste if I don't use it. And there's definitely things that I still want to experience and do, and I would love to capture that on camera so that I can look back on it. I don't want it to be something that diminishes me from actually experiencing it. It's similar to like when someone says, "You're living, but are you actually alive?" kind of thing.
So it sounds like you're not going to be doing the project next year. However, there are still things you want to experience, and if they're worth anything, you will film it and maybe put out the occasional video.
But I think like even doing like a small thing like
going to try Wahlburgers, I was
going
like
to try
nothing.
Wahlburgers, like trying a burger, like you don't need to record that.
Right.
You don't have to post it on Instagram that like, oh, InstaFood. It's just experiencing it.
Yeah.
Just experience it, and then talk about it with people. Maybe you don't really need to share everything that you do, I guess.
Okay, so then follow up. Would you consider doing it again in the future, though? So, like, let's say you take the year off next year, just maybe the occasional video. Would you want to do it again 2019, 2020? Like, something where you feel like maybe at that point you'd have more to experience or something different to experience?
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down, like, little things that I want to do that that I haven't done. And then maybe like in a few years or so, I would do this again because it was something to look forward to. I like that idea of like, yeah, we're gonna do this next week. I don't know.
I really liked it. I think that hearing that there's hope that there could be a few videos next year and then maybe restart the project another time is something nice for the people who really enjoyed it, like myself and the family members. I think personally I would consider it, but because I'm a little more scaredy cat, I would be afraid that the things I'd want to experience and try are like kind of lame and not worth filming. They would just be a step for me because I'm scared.
I think what a lot of people can come out of this realizing is like someone like me, I'm working a job during the week, but you can always find time to experience something new. I did this for 52 weeks and this 52 videos, which is, it is a lot. Like you are doing a new thing every single week. But what I would encourage maybe is instead of doing 52 weeks, maybe people can do like one a month and have 12 videos that they make in the year so that at the end of the year you can look back on what you've done and see like there were things that I did. There were 12 really cool things that I did this year and I'm proud of it. That'll be my little trending challenge that I'll post to people. Do a project 12 where you do 12 things in the year. I think that would be that's a cool idea.
So for anyone who's actually made it this far, congrats. Thanks for listening to us banter for this long. I want to ask you as the viewers to tell us what your favorite was or what you were most surprised by, or, you know, kind of answer some of these questions yourself as, you know, what was your most fun for you to watch?
I'd like to do an Ask Me Anything, like on Facebook, people type in like a question and I answer it. Because I want to talk about this. Like this was...
There's so much to say, and, you know, nobody's going to sit through 2 hours of us talking about it. But I feel like some things that hit us in certain lights would hit other people differently.
Even like the boring ones, there's things to talk about in each of these videos. It's just like there's so much to discuss. Like I could talk about a year's worth of like things.
Maybe we can do another, I don't know, maybe like a bonus video or something of you answering questions if you get enough.
So if I were to do a bonus video this year, what I was thinking about doing, like at the beginning of this year, I was thinking, all right, my last video, I'm gonna go be in Times Square or in New York City for New Year's. No one wants to go with me, but if anyone wants to go or wants to maybe go to like the harbor and see the fireworks on New Year's, let's talk about it, because I mean that's something I haven't done before, and I think that's a lot of things that not a lot of Long Islanders would have thought to do. So hit me up. Otherwise I'm just gonna like, you know, hang out in my apartment and watch the ball drop on the TV, nice and warm.
All right, so we're now at the end of week 52. What do you want to say? Give us a wrap up.
So at the beginning of the year, I had this idea that I wasn't experiencing enough things, that I felt like I'm missing something from my life, and that there's certain ideas and kind of mindsets and things to experience that I want to experience, that getting lost in like a television program, you're reading or you're seeing an experience that you're not experiencing when you could be doing it. I just got sick of maybe seeing people doing things when I could be doing it, and I'm just watching others do that and I'm not. I decided to do this video project and really tie myself into it and trap myself into it, that making a promise to the people that are on my friends list, and I guess to the world, that I'm gonna do this. As I was saying before in my first video, like it is much easier to let yourself down than it is to let someone else down. So I knew that if I'm gonna actually be happy with myself, with not making myself feel like I'm missing out on life's little things, that I would need to do something like this, and it held me to it. I think this has helped me get through a lot of really rough times that have been going on in my life for the past year and a half, I was really not happy. And I think this allowed me to kind of see that it's really you that makes your happiness. It's not the world that makes you happy. You have to do that for yourself, and you got to try in order to do it. And I think like I'm gonna look back on this and see like all the stuff I did, and even if it's just like one video by itself is really just it's really nothing. It's just a moment. But seeing all of it, like it really is overwhelming how much I have done this year. I don't know. I felt like at the beginning of the year, what I was thinking was, am I gonna feel really excited or really, upbeat about this and have like my last video be like, yeah, this is awesome, like I finally made it. But it's like a bittersweet kind of thing almost. Mm-hmm. I loved editing the videos. It did eat up a lot of time, but it was even just like the feeling I got when I was saying like, we need to think of something to do. That was almost like, you know what, like this is a good stress to have, not a bad stress to have. And I think you did have like a really positive impact on it. It was really nice to have you be a part of almost all the videos and to experience it through you and make you the butt of every joke.
You're welcome. I'm hilarious.
It was nice to see this little journey that we had this year.
Yeah.
And we can look back on it and be like, you know what? I did that. I think the ending note that I'll have is this. I would much rather regret doing something than regret not doing something. Regretting not climbing that mountain, regretting not going to that party, regretting not trying this new food or this new experience, that's unacceptable for me now. I guess it's kind of like the movie Yes Man. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, let's go bungee jumping. But I think that I'm starting to turn more into that kind of person, being, you know what? Why not? And even with the trying new foods thing, like I was saying, like I hate the pork rinds, it's disgusting. You know what? Like I would much rather it's one bad meal out of the thousands, millions of meals that I'll have in my lifetime. I wouldn't trade any of these experiences for anything. So with that,
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm gonna sign off for this year. 2017's been a great year, and I think I can say that for the first time, that like at the end of the year, it's been a great year. And maybe it's because I'm able to reminisce about it. Maybe it is because I'm able to look back on it. I think this has been a good year. I got my new job. I have the potential to be on a television show with Darren Brown. I applied for Survivor. I tried curling. That sushi burrito was actually really good. I gotta try that again. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. It was a lot of fun. If you guys ever do something like this, I will subscribe because I know how hard it is to get subscribers. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great new year. If you ever want to talk about this with me, I would love to talk to you about it. If you're ever considering doing it, if you're ever hesitant about like trying to be more adventurous, talk to me. I will definitely talk to you about it. With that, I'm going to play my outro song one more time, which is Love You by Razahel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. See you later, guys.
Do you want to do your bye?
Bye.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So, before I get into what this whole video is about, I want to start off by saying Happy New Year.
So this is the end of my 2017 New Year's resolution. I think I'll just stick to getting a six-pack next year. But I do want to thank each and every one of you who have been watching my videos. I really do hope you enjoyed. It was nice to look back on this year and make that little montage at the end. Nice to round out everything into a 3-minute song. Thank you again, guys, and have a happy 2018.